Saturday shows, Padres have been making a lot of strands to improve their team. And yeah, it was about 3 weeks ago you called that, right?
Yep. As soon as I heard San Diego was in the mix, that just made too much sense for both Shields and for the Padres too.
Well, being a team in the NL West, obviously as a Dodger fan, I was not happy to see that because they don't need any more tools in terms of securing the NL West. But how do you? I know
you're winning the NL West next year.
Well, I mean, actually, you know what? We had the credentials to watch it happen. But
well, the reason why I'm saying that is because last year with us in the press box, the D-backs were 11-4. This year we've got full season credentials, so they're going to kick ass this year.
But now, one thing I didn't actually see though, and Jonah, maybe you have the numbers in front of you. What did the actual contract come out to be?
It was a 4-year deal.
Okay, so he got the 4-year.
Yeah. However, he can opt out after 2 years of the deal. And there is a club option for 5th year.
Wow, you mean there wasn't a 10-year, $190 million deal going on here?
Well, Shields was also a lot older than the people that got those type of.
How old is he?
33. So he's going to be playing at least until 37, maybe.
So what is he in terms of depth chart? What does he add to that? I mean, to the Padres starting rotation, what they already got going on?
Well, he's their ace right now, and I think with this signing, their pitching staff looks a lot like the Royals did last year. You have the veteran at the top to really like lead the young players. Hang on, I'm bringing up their depth chart, and then you have a very very good second pitcher in Andrew Kashner, who was actually their ace last year.
Yeah.
He's good. He has a very light fastball, great changeup, and a nice little slider that he develops. And then Tyson Ross really came on last year too, and so he'll be sliding into the 3 spot.
Now, even with Kashner and Ross, they're kind of like Shields in the sense that they're inning eaters.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, you kind of look at them. You expect at least 6,
right?
6 to 7, at least. But with Shields, because where did he start his career? Did he start in Tampa?
He started in Tampa.
So this is his first stint with the National League.
Yeah.
So I did hear one thing when teams are talking about him going to the National League, being that he is a little older. Now he's going to have to play with the bat. So, I mean, as anyone knows, anytime you have a pitcher in the base pass or in the batter's box, it increases the chances of getting hurt, obviously.
Right.
But he hasn't really had a problem with injuries, at least in the last 4 years, or to my knowledge.
No, he's never really had any sort of injury problems at all in his history. I mean, yeah, you do always run that risk, but that's really rare. Pretty, it does happen a little bit more frequently than the AL, but it doesn't, obviously, but it doesn't happen all that much at all. And usually it's just them kind of being stupid. That's where you got to have a good head coach as far as like if you're going to, because most of the times when a pitcher gets hurt in the batter's box is if they're squaring around to bunt and then a ball comes and hits them on the fingers. Yep. They don't get their bunt, they don't get their hands down. So, but I mean, as long as you have a decent coach to teach them that, then.
No, I'm not sure if you heard, because I didn't come across this until earlier this morning. But did you hear that the Tigers are working with Verlander in bullpen sessions?
No, I didn't.
Now, again, we had all mentioned that he's not the Verlander of the past. Definitely not the one when he was shining in 2012.
Right.
But we did mention this in last year's towards the end about him possibly going to the bullpen.
Yeah.
And working out kind of like as like the closer. Everyone always, when we always mentioned, here comes in Rivera, game over, for the Yankees.
Right.
He can be that type of player because he's only going to have to throw at the most, hopefully 20 pitches in a relief role.
Yeah.
Where he can then hit 93 to 95, 96.
I would agree with you. Had the Tigers signed Scherzer. Now that they haven't, you're left with David Price, who's the number one, which he's a legitimate ace. Don't get me wrong. But then after that, you have Anibal Sanchez, who's good for quarter of the season. The rest of the season, the rest of the 2/3 of the season, he's hurt. So
kind of did have a brain fart on that. Yeah, I guess if Scherzer is there with Price and their number 3 pitcher, then I guess that does make.
Now that would mean Shane Green, not anyway a Green,
right?
Who's not very good as a number 3 hole, and then Alfredo Simon as the number 4 starter, and then you have to bring someone up from the minors. I mean, you have no depth if you take him out. That's why I think he's going to have to stay in there.
Yeah, I could. I mean, you and I both know what he's capable of doing and what he can do. It's
Right.
in the bullpen, but I guess when you're losing some, maybe this season is not the deal because they did lose Scherzer.
Yeah, I think the Tigers are in trouble this year. I do. I think that they won't win the Central, but we can do that when we do our official baseball preview.
Now, we did kind of mention this in
spoiler.
I know that Aaron's probably going to want to chirp in, but JD, you had brought it up with A-Rod making his little showdown, but also with him giving the stadium as his venue for his apology.
They offered it. The Yankees actually offered the stadium to A-Rod, basically saying, look, you apologize on paper. You apologize to us in a closed-door meeting. We would like for you to stand in front of your fans and apologize. And it sounds like he is open to it. Why not? If he does this, what more do you need to say, you know what? All right.
Well, here's the only thing.
What do you want him to do? Buy you a car to say I'm sorry?
They also came out today and said they're not paying him any of his bonuses for contract milestones for like home runs. And those things.
My only problem with this is
the guy just wants to play ball.
When I hear someone been like, you publicly came out and apologized, the first thing that comes to mind, Ryan Braun.
Mm-hmm.
He had a press conference with the Brewers. I'm so sorry, and what did he do? He did it again.
Yeah.
Just because you're coming out publicly and admitting it, like
so you're saying he's gonna cheat again regardless, because Ryan Braun did it.
It doesn't have anything.
Saying.
Oh no! I'm strictly making the sense where like it doesn't all of a sudden just make
Ryan
right
Braun's
because
in the middle of hell in Milwaukee.
Well,
And
A-Rod's going to
What
be.
are you talking about?
Because it's one of those markets where nobody really gives a rat's ass about what you do.
He's happy
anyway.
there.
Yeah, he's happy because nobody really gives a rat's ass about what he did.
Unless he comes here.
Nobody did.
the only thing
because it's so big for A-Rod is because of the market that he was in. When he was in Texas and doing this stuff, nobody cared. Nobody cared.
He was also leading the league at that time too.
well, here's my
okay, so it's okay as long as you're leading the lead.
Here's my
Well, if
problem.
you're gonna
though.
cheat, you better cheat well.
I think he did it pretty damn good for so many years.
My only concern is on this is that he knows that when he comes back, he's going to get the booze. There's going to be some chants there. There's going to be some cheers.
Right.
Playing in the market of New York is the magnifying glass of any venue.
Yeah, easily, yeah. It's worse
I
than
don't
Boston.
think he wants to have to worry about coming back to a season and then completely screwing things up. I could see there being an issue with maybe him doing something because he doesn't. Again, the year off probably helped him with his hip and his hamstring that he's had problems with.
Mhm.
Just like Peyton when he had that he gave
Plus,
him a
he's
year.
not going to be in the field. Very rarely will he be in the field.
Right, but again, more things. You're older. It's like dusting the dust off your legs. He's going to be older. He's not going to be going in as much. Just a better risk of him being injured when you're sitting down and then playing than sitting down as opposed to playing in the field. I think he's going to be worried about having a horrible season. Maybe it's not what he got. Maybe it's not anything with the biogenesis. But hey, that substance that's also banned. Because he's so focused on having a comeback year, he doesn't want to let the team down, doesn't want to let himself down, or the name he's made for himself. So I would not be surprised if
he doesn't have a name anymore. That's why I'm saying. Well, that's what I'm saying though. He knows he has to start over from the beginning. He has no trust. He has no big contract. He has none of this, so he has to start from the beginning.
And he has to do well in order to
has to quit, and he's choosing not to quit. So he knows what he has to do. Granted, you know how much I hate the Yankees.
Yes.
So for me,
That's why you're happy about it, though, because you want him to be a failure.
Because I root for the underdog, and right now he's as big of an underdog as there is.
Joel, what are your kind of? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, you're right, but that's also going to be his downfall. That he has to play. He basically has to start over.
Right, but
again.
I'm not going to,
But you can't
throw spoiled fruit at him just because he's going back up to the plate.
But
I'm not going to crucify him and burn down his house.
He does have to start over again, and that's hard for a guy who is 39 years old.
All right.
I mean,
Yeah, look at Tiger Woods.
But what if he's not coming back to play 5 more years? He just wants to come back and play.
right.
I mean, he's
But
been
coming off
playing
1 year
for 22 years.
Yeah, the resume have helped it, like his hip and stuff, but it's still surgically repaired. Coming in 39, even if you are only playing the DH spot, it still takes a lot on that hip because
But
you
it's
have
still
to do the
it's
old
repaired.
right. However, doesn't mean that it's
been
fixed.
cleared.
Doesn't mean that it's fixed.
Doesn't
though.
mean that it's not.
But
We got a guy, just a case in point. We got a kid we're going to go watch tonight by the name of Josh Brown. Okay. And he had 4 knee surgeries before GCU picked him up.
And how old is
He
he?
hasn't. But he had 4 knee surgeries in the last couple of years, And then this year, he's leading the team and everything.
And how
he's
old is he,
completely
though?
healthy. He's like 20.
Exactly.
But still, no. Then why did he have to have 4 knee surgeries if his age is, telling him that, he should have
No,
healed
I'm
after
saying
the
it's
first one.
I mean,
It's a lot
because
easier to come back at 20 than it is to come back at 40.
Right, but they're really not demanding that much from him. Go up there and swing the bat.
I'm demanding him not to embarrass my
I'm
franchise.
pretty sure the first time he gets on base, they're not going to give him the steal sign. Pretty sure.
well,
it is.
yeah. I mean, obviously, that's not going to happen.
I mean, come
But
on.
I mean, you can't expect him to.
I'm not
come
saying
back
he's
and
going
then
to
hit the
I'm not saying he's coming back to lead the league in home runs.
right.
All right.
But, I
I'm
mean, I
saying
don't-
he's
I
coming
don't
back
even
to
think-
maybe hit 15 to 20.
Yeah.
I can see that. He's still a big guy.
Right.
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with steroids and everything. I mean, if you can hit home runs, you can hit home runs.
Right.
Okay. I
There's
mean,
still
it
a
is
lot of
hand-eye
eye contact
coordination.
that goes into
exactly
hitting.
hand-eye coordination.
Right.
And I think 15 to 20 is a reasonable number.
Yeah.
However, I think the rest of that game is just going to go to the garbage.
Okay.
His average is going down. He can't run. He can't stretch
He'll
singles
be
into doubles
270
anymore.
plus. He'll be 270
No,
plus.
no, he's going to be.
You said like 220. last
Yeah, I
time.
said
We had this
220,
discussion.
220 to 240. That's
No,
right.
he'll be 270 plus.
No,
I'm
because
positive of that.
well, I mean, sitting out the whole year hurt.
Now you said it.
Doesn't matter.
You say he's gonna get his first bomb within his first 3 games, right? Isn't that
Yep.
what you said?
Yep,
You say
I did
bomb
say
or
that.
bomb?
Bombs.
Like a homeless guy?
BOMB as like
Oh.
I'm sorry, Aaron. The adults are
yard
talking.
job.
No, I mean, I think he's going to be okay. It's going to be one of those seasons where he's not going to do anything miraculous. He's going to play the season. He's going to go barely unnoticed.
Well, I mean,
he's going to go about as unnoticed in New York as you possibly could be in
Right.
New York. All right. He's going to stay clean. He'll still be in the media because he's A-Rod, but I don't see him doing anything stupid.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
he won't do anything stupid and everything, but he will be under the scrutiny.
Now, granted, I hope he
all
goes
the time.
0 for 12 during the season against the Red Sox, during the series against the Red Sox. But, I mean, as far as it
I think
goes,
he's going
I
to
mean,
have quite a bit of
the
0
guy's-
for 12 series.
he's losing a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I mean, he's losing more money than a lot of athletes have been paid
Right.
in their career. So he's losing a lot of money. He got kicked out for a year. He basically lost everything. His identity is gone. He has no identity other than steroids.
right.
That's it.
Well, money is still. I mean, based the way that contract still
Right, he's still
designed,
gonna make
he's
a
still gonna be
pretty
making
decent
even until he's
dime.
probably like he's 70.
But
I
I mean, give the guy a chance. He has been punished about as much as somebody, other than the fact that he's not going to be in the Hall of Fame, even though he has come out and said, I did it. He had to now
right.
because it's proved against him. But there's a lot of players during that area that still won't come out and say, I did
Right.
it. It's out for him before he even finishes
Yeah.
his career.
Yeah.
And I think that'll help him. I'm not saying that'll put him in initially, but it could help him down the road as far as getting some favors from the fans. You know, I'm not saying he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I think Pete Rose will
he
be in the
won't
Hall
be
of
in the
Fame
Hall of
before
Fame at
him.
all. I mean,
But he has to be able to salvage something. I think he wants to be able to salvage something.
right.
All right. I think that he'll have a walk-off or 2 this year. Maybe not a home run, but he'll be up there in key situations. Because during the regular, it's never been a big deal about performing during the regular season. It's just been in the preseason where he can't
Right.
perform, or the
Right.
postseason, excuse me. So during the regular season, I mean, he's done a lot of things. He's hit singles and doubles. and
Right.
I think that deals a lot more with hand-eye coordination than it does with steroids. You know, because a lot of his singles are just, seeing eye singles.
I don't care if he bats 1,000. I just don't want him on my team.
Well, he's there. All right. This is one of those things like if you don't support the war, support the soldier. They're still
No.
there.
Right.
All right. They're still there.
I
All
can
right.
root for everybody else to go 3 for 4. and
That's
him
the
to go
problem, though.
0
You
for-
do root for everybody else. I'm
See,
not
I-
even sure you're
I'm
a
talking
real
about in
Yankee
the
fan.
lineup.
I also think A-Rod's going to be hurt this year at some point. I think he's going to be spending.
I don't care if he gets hurt after he hits his first home run within 3 games. As long as I'm right.
I don't think it's going to happen at all. But
I think it will. I think he's still got the strength to
So
put
you
it
guys
over.
do a
here's a
jersey
dude that
bet
hasn't
for
played
that, or
a
what?
full
No.
season since
we did lunch.
he hasn't played a full season since 2007.
I don't need to play a full season.
And yeah, I mean, and his games have gone down consistently since.
Well, I
that
guess
year.
we'll probably have a good look at it in spring training to see if he doesn't come up limping or come up with a cane into the
I think
box,
he's
but-
fine. I think
but-
he's fine. They're saying he's going to be ready for spring training. I think he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And I like the
I'm
fact
going to
that
be
the
ready for
Yankees-
spring training. I can get into camp there.
Yeah, I think that the Yankees are doing a good job with kind of bringing all this together and make sure all this gets out of the way before spring training, even though they'll probably have him do like an opening day apology, which I think would be huge.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? So
with the last 10 minutes we have on our baseball section, we should probably mention about Andrew McCutcheon's.
well, I got one before that
Go ahead.
because they gave us credentials, so I have to. Addison Reed, 32 saves last year for the D-backs out of 38 chances, excuse me. Last year he made $538,500. This year, because of arbitration, he's making $4.8 million for 1 year. I think he deserves it. I mean, because he was one of the top closers in the game last year, as young as he is.
Right.
The D-backs are also, they've got Mark Trumbull, who also applied for arbitration. I don't know how it's going to work out.
Well, he's going to get a raise. Almost every player through arbitration gets a raise, but I was actually kind of surprised a little bit by the number for Reed.
Well, they initially started with 4.7, and he wanted like 5.6,
right,
and he got 4.8. Okay,
yeah,
but he went off of the closers, basically the market for closers that had 30 plus saves last year.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, most of them make a lot more than what he's making this year.
Right.
So, I think it's okay. He only blew 6 saves in 38 chances.
Right.
Not bad.
I think some people are frustrated given his, the high ERA.
It is a high ERA, but he's still saving it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's coming in with a 2-run lead.
He's getting his
with a
job
1-run lead.
Yeah, he's getting his job done. He's doing what he's being paid to do, and that's closing out games.
Yeah.
Me personally, I would like to see the just that ERA go down a little bit, maybe work on getting, the 1, 2, 3 less high stress innings. Yeah, he's still very young, and I think he's definitely capable of doing that. But I think it's well deserved, and
he's only in his third year, dude. He's 26 years old.
Right. And I think he's going to be a really good closer. I just, once that ERA comes down, I think he can just be flat out dominant though. Yeah. And then Aroldis Chapman and Greg Holland also got close out their deals.
Right.
And the 2 more closers also close out their deals as well. So it's going to be arbitration is such a weird process sometimes, just because you can stand to make this huge jump in pay right away. And that was what $3.5 million.
Yeah, it was 4.3 million for his raise. So I want to see what Trumbull's going to get, considering the fact that Trumbull's going to be backing up Goldschmidt next year,
right,
in the lineup.
Right.
So which should be very interesting.
They're going to be putting Trumbo in right,
yeah,
and Peralta in left,
right. But in the lineup, he'll be behind Goldie.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
I think one of the last games we did last year, Trumbo went deep twice.
Yeah, you and I.
And he
that's right.
Against the Cardinals.
He hit one off the wall on that one.
Yeah,
the game that about 3 games before you went.
Yeah,
he was looking like the Trumbo of the A's.
right.
And even like the sound off the bat, I was like, he ripped that.
The Diamondbacks have a good offense. They do have a really good offense. The pitching does need a little work.
Tomas can help with that 3, 4, 5 portion of the order to give
really excited to see
Goldie some protection.
Who are you guys keeping your eyes on as far as spring training goes? When spring training starts, what are you looking for?
From the Diamondbacks?
From anybody. I know you just want to see baseball, but is there anybody in particular you want to keep your eye out that made a big splash in the offseason? You want to see how they do, other than A-Rod?
I want to see this Tomas kid. I do.
Yeah.
I want to see him play. He's supposed to be really excited. I've never seen him play. Never even heard him until this year. But the dude's supposed to be a stud.
They were telling him about like he's just like a replica of like Pui in terms of he's like an all-around athlete.
Right.
It'd be interesting to see if he deals with some of the issues Pui did in terms of his composure when he finally gets to the show. The one person that I'm looking forward to seeing, because I want to see how I want to make sure this trade doesn't kick us in the ass. I want to see how Jock Peterson does over in LA, because he's got some shoes to fill. If he's going to be the full-time center fielder and put Pui in right, then we still have Crawford and Ether that we're dealing with in left field. Peterson, they said that he's got all the tangibles to fill that center field position. But again, young kid, big market, big city, big team. I want to. That's who I'm looking forward to seeing at the Dodgers, what they were doing, what they were thinking. I want to see how that pans out.
I want to see how all this youth on the Red Sox works out. They're saying Mookie Betts is going to be their best position player, and I like Mookie Betts. First off, I just love the name Mookie Betts. You know.
Well, actually, just with names, I did go ahead and draft Brock Holt for my PS3
Brock
team.
Holt too, yeah.
Yes, I drafted him on there. I'm like, you know what? You can play second, you can play third, you can play outfield.
Yeah.
It's a great name, even when the announcers and say, even maybe PlayStation, even when the announcers say it, I get a little chisel.
It's going to be an interesting as far as defense goes because you got Pedroia, obviously, you got Xander Bogaerts, you got Mookie Betts, you got the Panda at third. I don't even know who's catching right now for the Sox. They just keep going in and out because what's his name left, Old Faithful there.
Veritek.
Yeah, well, Veritek's been gone, but
Right.
yeah. One of our, I think our other catcher went to the Padres.
Oh yeah.
Or went to Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago Cubs. Right. So for right now, we've got in the bullpen. Jesus, this bullpen.
Yeah, Red Sox their entire pitching staff's kind of a mess.
Lester's out, Lackey's out. We got Joe Kelly.
I like Joe Kelly.
We got Clay Buchholz.
Eesh.
And then we've got maybe Dubront.
Well, you did get Wade Miley from the Diamondbacks.
We do got Wade. We signed him to a 3-year deal.
Yeah. You did get him from the Diamondbacks and locked him up. Rick Porcello and then Justin Masterson.
Yeah. Masterson's coming back. I like Masterson when he was on the team before.
Yeah.
So we got him back from Cleveland.
He had a rough year last year.
Gentlemen, can we take a break and come back with more baseball talk?
No. I guess. Whatever.
Why don't you play something good coming back?
I know, right? What the hell's wrong with you?
Does anybody want to have a dance?
Get out.
It's a Brent pick.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Headset off. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back.
Thriving business and help employ local veterans. The Vetraplex Handyman Construction and Landscape business is the opportunity you've been waiting for. The Vetraplex is your gateway to an affordable startup business with 0% financing for qualifying owners. By owning a Vetraplex franchise, you will be hiring veterans, providing them both income and opportunity, while at the same time providing your customers a way to say, thank you for your service to our nation's veterans. For more information, visit vetraplex.org. Again, that's vetraplex.org or call 928-284-2022.
Break a 19. How about that bandit? You got some ears on, son?
Have you ever wanted to be a truck driver? If so, pay attention. If not, pay attention anyway. Southwest Truck Driver Training offers everything you need to get started. You can get hired before you begin training. They've got GI Bill approved training facilities, day, night, or weekend programs to fit your busy schedule. And if you have any questions, no sweat. They've got veteran supportive campuses with veterans on staff to serve you. And on top of that, they have lifetime job placement assistance. Put the pedal to the metal. Call Southwest Truck Driver Training today.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552 or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
If you or someone you know is looking for a new job or career, you need to visit the pros. National Career Fairs at ncfairs.com. National Career Fairs host over 300 career fairs a year nationwide. The events are free and give you the perfect chance to meet some of the top employers in your area face-to-face. To find the nearest career fair to you, visit ncfairs.com. Again, that's ncfairs.com. What are you waiting for?
And we are back. We are listening to Vets on Sports. That is a great intro. And for everyone, for all the kids that were born in the 80s, yes, that was a 12 from Saved by the Bell, Zach and Kelly's song.
I feel like
Relax.
coming back, I should be like, and you're listening to Saturday Night Slow Jams with JD.
The ladies
Next on the
man.
list.
Yeah.
Listening to the ladies man.
From Regina to Astro, you are my boo. This one goes out to you. Really?
I think that's
Seriously?
Delilah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Look
Shut
at
up.
that smile, JD. You haven't had a smile like that since we let this cut for break. Look at
Dude,
that.
you cut nothing in here. We already had that
I
discussion.
know. I've been limited to my talent.
All right, so what are we on? We're on A-Rod, probably hitting at least 1 to 2 home runs in spring training to get ready for the games.
Maybe
Maybe
1 to 2 home runs. If there's like a home run derby or something in spring training, yeah, maybe. But
see,
zero spring.
the guy
training
can
home
still
runs.
hit. The guy can still hit.
Uh,
I know he hasn't taken a year
Nah.
off without picking up a bat,
yeah, almost 2 years because he only did play in 40 games.
but that's on the field. I mean, there's a reason why there's batting cages. Is people down there. He's been in Florida for like the last 4 months, waiting for this shit to start. He's gonna be fine. Unfortunately,
Then you
for
start
me.
seeing major league pitching again, and then
I'm pretty sure he's got major league pitchers throwing to him.
but not the major. leagues.
They'll be throwing at him.
Yeah, probably has some minor leaguers.
Look, the guy's been staring at major league pitching for 20 years. I'm sure it doesn't disappear just because you take some time off.
If you were to take some time off, like of your job,
Mhm.
if you were to take, let's
I
say
wouldn't go
a year off, right?
I wouldn't go back.
Well,
to
yeah,
that
but
job.
let's say you had to go back. Would you?
No, I'd
have
pick it
trouble
up
kind of
Nope.
looking up the news
because I
Would
did it for
take you a
6
few-
years. I say my messages in my sleep. Seriously.
right?
So
But-
no.
But
If I did,
wouldn't
if
there
I
be
did
like
this
some
job
sort
for
of a
20
little
years-
bit of a learning curve again to kind of
No.
get yourself back up to speed?
No,
I think you're lying.
no,
I
because the
think
job
you're
doesn't
lying.
change.
I think
Just
you're
like
lying just to
baseball,
make your point.
his job is to go up there and swing. It doesn't change.
But then
They're-
swing at
the
the right
pitches
pitch. You
didn't
have to
go-
get used to the way the pitches are moving.
The pitches
now.
don't go up 15 miles per hour with taking a year off. It doesn't go to 110.
but
You don't
they
have to
do
get used to
move a little
that.
differently. They can move a little differently, especially with some of these young pitchers that they have coming up.
Nobody's pitching like that to where you're like, oh my God, he's throwing a slider at 105.
You never know.
There's only like
no,
one.
Well, no, I'm just saying that the way that the ball tumbles, some of these younger pitchers have gotten better since he's been gone.
Pretty sure he's been practicing.
they've
it.
been moving. I don't know. I really
Pretty
don't.
sure he's been
I
practicing
know.
it.
Yeah, well, you can't really against.
I'm gonna
these
laugh
type
if
of
the
pl-
first
pitchers.
pitch he sees he puts out.
Yeah,
That'll be hilarious. I'm just gonna call it Joel. Joel's not answering. Let me call again for the 20th time. Joel, pick up the phone. Just want to know if you saw that.
Can we cap the A-Rod? It's done.
Look,
The
hater.
horse is dead.
No, he's not. He's back.
I'm hoping a cab hits him.
That's so bad, dude.
I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Anyway,
Wow.
can we talk about some news? Brent, what was your news on McCutcheon?
He's kind of spot on. He came out and was making some comments with regards to like the lower income inner cities of baseball and how baseball really doesn't adhere to that population. He had went on one of his article or off his speech, but basically what he was saying that it's really hard to get full ride scholarships for baseball in college. If you do get a scholarship, most likely it's not paid 100% full like most football scholarships are, and even track and basketball actually have higher statistics on it. But he's saying how it's hurting baseball is in the sense that, like with him, he had gotten offered a 70% scholarship to, I believe it was Florida, and his parents were like, well, that's great, but we can't come up with the other 30. So I mean, thanks for offering over half of the tuition, but there's no way that my kid can go there because we're struggling with putting food on the table. So what he was ultimately kind of suggesting is how that turns players away from baseball, being like you have a better chance to get an education full ride if you avoid baseball. So that's basically stating that there's football is the primary full ride scholarship. So for some of these kids who can't afford to play baseball and they're just equally as talented, they're going to football and being able to try and make it that way. But at the same time, you have a longer shelf life in baseball than you would in football, but it's easier to make it in football than it is baseball in terms of at least being offered a scholarship.
Some of the more eye-opening stuff on what he was saying was that if he could have been, he would have been a wide receiver for a Division I school because it would have been a lot easier for him to get the money to pay for college. Luckily, he met a coach. I think it was his high school coach.
When he was about 13.
Yeah, when he was about 13, and he actually paid for the other 30% for him to go to school. But just kind of looking at some of the stats here, it says colleges are allotted 11.7 scholarships for baseball, and many don't even fund that many.
Yeah.
So it says baseball gets fewer scholarships than football, which has 85, 13, basketball, which has 13, cross country, lacrosse, hockey, and women's softball.
Yeah.
All get more scholarships than baseball does.
I mean, if you think about like Russell Wilson was a two-tier athlete in college, played baseball and football. Technically, still has been drafted by what is it now? Is it not the Rangers?
Rangers.
He's
for spring training.
Yeah, he's still on the roster, but obviously he's already been drafted. And he's already made it. But if you have a kid whose sole talent is baseball, but it's afraid that maybe because he's from a family that can't afford to send him to college on his own, do you bite the bullet, take the second, like maybe, I mean, it's like this. We all talk about what's the difference when you're getting drafted first round as opposed to like the fifth or sixth, or if you're making money as a tight end as opposed to receiver. There's going to be differences in the contract that you might be able to get. So if you're a number one draft pick in baseball, but you can't make it because there's no scholarship there, and you play football, you might only be like a round 2 or a round 3 pick. There's definitely he's just basically stating that it's diverting people away from baseball that should be in the game.
Well, I think the thing that's interesting is with all the travel teams and stuff, it is really expensive to actually play baseball in this country. You have to be on these teams. You have to have new equipment. You have to drive to all these events. You have to be there and so on and so forth if you really want to be successful for the most part. Versus, say, like a Cuba, where they might play with milk cartons and there's scouts flying there to see them play. So it's kind of a weird demographic where here versus there, they can, poverty lines. In terms of college, and I wanted to ask your guys' opinion on this, because if you draft a guy in MLB, we'll say, first pick or early or whatever, you're probably going to put him in the minors anyway for a couple years, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if you could draft a guy and pay for him to go to college? Do you think that would be a solution? I mean, personally, it's kind of the same thing. You're still having them get the reps. You're still doing the things. I think the college game would have to change somewhat because it's not.
But wouldn't that technically be then paying a college athlete? Wouldn't that fall into that line of?
I don't know how it would fall. I mean, if you just had them pay their scholarship.
I think the NCAA would have a problem with that, don't you, Joel?
I think they would.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not a bad idea. I mean, I like the idea of it, but I think the NCAA would have been like, well, that's no different than not paying the football players who go and bring in all this money for the schools. Technically, they're on a scholarship. Yes, they are. But it's not like you were drafted and now we're going to pay for you to – I mean, I just think there would be some issues with
I do think that there would have to be a little bit of a solution of this where they would – or like a little bit of a stipulation with it where the teams would, because part of the whole reason why they draft high schools anyway is to get young and get younger players there. So I think that they would probably want, instead of sending them to a full 4-year school, maybe send them either to a 2-year junior college, or maybe even have them go to school for one year and then join up in the farm system, because having them play for 4-year state university or 4-year university and then have them spend another 4 or 5 years in the minors, by this time it's going to be 8-9 years before you start seeing your number 1 pick in the majors.
Well, clearly baseball is going to have to, I mean, the nice thing is if him come out and saying this, everyone in baseball is gonna hear it, is gonna come across it. So it's gonna draw some water.
Yeah, I mean, McCutcheon is one of the most likable players in baseball right now, and so now that he really came out and said this, hopefully the Major League Baseball starts bringing into action, start funding, start being able to contribute some money to some more scholarships and everything. I mean, they do the reviving these outreach programs like Reviving Baseball in Inner Cities, RBI, but that only does so much because it's really for younger kids that play the game. It is in the inner city or in the RBI program. So by the time that they start getting up there and they start to become call it, that they still want to start wanting to go to college and everything, they just can't afford it, anymore. They their families can't, because at that point when they're working on being discovered, you still have to wait about probably another 6-7 years before you can actually reach out to them again. By that time, they may be already on to another sport because of the money. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's kind of one of those things where we'll have to see how what their plan is to shorten the game, to shorten the strike zone.
Right.
And then, I mean, and maybe if there had been another athlete that maybe came out and said this, it wouldn't have drawn as much attention. But yeah, like you mentioned, he's probably one of the most respectable ones. Whether he's on your team or not, you respect him as a ball player because he does it right.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's transition over to the NBA. We've got All-Star game tomorrow and All-Star Saturday night tonight. What are your guys' thoughts on going in tonight? Are you guys going to watch the dunk contest? Are you going to watch 3-point shootout?
Well, I'll be at the game. I'll be at the basketball game, but 3-point shootout would be the only thing I'll probably DVR because the dunk's going to be a joke, and I won't watch the game.
I'll be watching UFC.
JD?
I'll be at the game.
You're not going to record it at all?
Nope.
What about the game tomorrow?
No.
I haven't watched the NBA All-Star since I was a kid.
I am on a 30-day vow of no television.
Oh, yeah.
Or pizza. Or burgers.
I could do the TV and the burger, but not pizza. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, I know it hurt me this morning when I went in to get pizza, and I was like, I can't do that. I got to do beef jerky. I can't do pizza or burgers.
I'd have to go down to the nearest pizzeria and be like, can you burp in my face? I need
that's nasty.
I gotta have my pizza.
That's nasty.
No, but I haven't really cared about the NBA All-Star game since I was a little kid. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this. It was on SportsCenter. I saw it on SportsCenter yesterday. There was a guy who duplicated all 32 of the major dunks done by everybody. He duplicated he did Dr. J's, he did Kemp's, he did every single one that won, like Vince Carter's 360. He duplicated every single one, and they put it in like a fast stream. That was probably the most fun I've had in a dunk contest watching, and it only took me a minute.
Did you pump up
I have a lot of fun within a minute. Just throwing that out there.
Well, I think the dunk contest, that's why. I mean, all the dunks have been done. It's not interesting anymore.
But it's not the names. Like, I mean, right now you're telling me that people would rather see, like, I don't even think I remember one of them. Millsap, the other guy's name I can't even pronounce.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Both of them. I mean,
it's Greek.
Seems like a nice guy.
Did you just go there?
But like, you can't tell me that people wouldn't rather see like LeBron and some of the other people go out there and doing some crazy crap because everything you just mentioned has been done. It's not appealing anymore.
Well, they did change the format. They got rid of the team thing that they did last year. It's going back to the 4 guys. They get 2 dunks, then the final 2 will head off, which is the old school format.
Let me see the dance team go out there and do some dunk contest or something like that, because I don't see the hype anymore. I don't.
I don't either.
But this year with the lineup they have for the 3-point contest, I think that's going to be like almost back when like the days of Bird. That's going to be a good one.
And I always watch the 3-point contest.
Yeah,
I think
I like that.
Yeah, that one I do like.
It's the most interesting. It's just straight skill. I mean, it's gotten away. I don't know why they always feel they have to have a forward or a center in there for some reason. But like Klay Thompson is in it this year.
I mean, I'm hoping it's going to be like back with the days where Bird, where he didn't even look. He just grabbed it and threw it, grabbed it, threw it, grabbed it, threw it.
Yeah, and Steph Curry's going to be in it. So I think he's your projected winner. But I think Kyle Korver is in it right off the top of my head. And I think he'll give Curry a run for his money. But
yeah, I think the 3-point is the only thing that's going to be big to watch, at least for this one. Now, I mean, I'm not the biggest NBA analyst, but I don't see the game or the dunk contest bringing anything. I think the most ratings will come from the 3-point, and that'll be it.
The game is pretty boring.
The celebrity game.
Yeah, you're
hey, Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
four Pete.
Your girl over there, Monet Davis, was playing in it.
She balled him up. She got a
My girl.
Yeah. Thought you liked her.
Why is she my girl?
I don't know. I thought you liked her.
No.
Whoa. You don't have to get hot about it.
I'm just saying, man. I don't know how you put two and two together. Like, your boy, Blake Griffin.
Well, that's because Brent's a Clipper flipper.
right. I'm putting that on my tax return this year. Maybe I'll get a little more respect. I don't know.
So you got Benelli.
Claim
In your
Blake.
3-point shootout, you got Benelli, Curry, Harden, Irving, Kyle Korver, Wesley Matthews, JJ Redick, and Klay Thompson.
I'm gonna go with
Harden might be not at half bad either, and so might Irving. They're not traditional 3-point shooters, but they'll definitely be decent.
Well, I want to see
I'm
Harden do
going with
well.
Klay
'Cause-
Thompson.
I want to see Harden do well because he's an ASU boy. But
I'm going Klay Thompson.
I'm going Korver.
All right, so
Well, there we are.
I don't watch basketball enough to have a.
what we got? You're making one of your UFC picks, right? You changing one of them?
Yep.
What do you got?
I know
you
last week I was talking about Brandon Thatch versus Benson Henderson, the main event for tonight.
You're taking Henderson?
I have changed my mind and I'm going with Henderson. I
What
changed
made
my
you- what
mind for
made you
about the
change your mind?
50th time.
Why?
I watched the weigh-ins yesterday, and Henderson looked good. I mean, he didn't look
Well, he's
like
only
he had
2 weeks
slowed down.
removed from
He's 4
fight.
weeks removed, but he had to
Yeah.
go up with this weight class. He had
Sure.
to go up 15 pounds to fight, but he looked like really in shape and really good. And he said that he usually trains at 170 against 170 guys, and he doesn't take that much damage. And being though that he's fought at 155 as well, he's only had so much as a black eye as far as damage goes. So by adding more weight on, you're definitely restricting that damage too. So
Right.
I guess it makes a lot of sense. And plus, Brandon Thatch, this is his first main event, and if it goes out of the first round, which I think it could, I think the more it plays into Benson Henderson's favor, because main events are 5 rounds. Thatch has never, and Thatch has won in the first round in most of his fights. So I got to give the edge of experience, and then just the fact that Henderson has looked ripped and he looks in really good shape. I'm gonna go with Henderson. Of course, by 8 o'clock by the time it starts, I probably changed my mind for the 50th time. So, but yeah, I'm pretty confident though about.
Now, didn't you also mention that we had once again overweight gate?
Yeah, we had 2 more people weigh in over their weight. One
Is it
guy,
just to the point where I don't care that someone else is getting my purse. I just want to win. I mean, is that what? Because seriously, if you know that you're going to be losing part of your purse just
Right.
because you're overweight,
right? Well, I think Dana White has a press conference. It's either today or it could be Monday about the steroids and all these people checking in overweight because it's starting to become a kind of an epidemic here. And to the point where, okay, if you want to weigh in, we're going to start having to take half of your purse and going over to the and going to the other fighters. So then that way, let's say they win by knockout, instead of you taking home, a potential $50,000 to $100,000, you can cut that in half.
wow.
Yeah, and go ahead and get it to the other guy you beat. So there's definitely a kind of a, I think.
Yeah, I
there
beat
should
you,
be,
but
like,
here's a
a
little
bigger
money for you to
fine
think
in
about
here.
that next time, even though I beat you and I was overweight.
Right, exactly. But one guy weighed in, and it's also a violation of the contract too that they signed, because they signed that you are supposed to be in shape and on weight.
Mhm.
So they could actually start, suspending fighters.
I was just
now
going to
for
ask. I
being
could
so
probably keep their
overweight.
name off cards and been like, every time you put you on the card, you're always being overweight.
Yep.
You're not adhering.
Yep. There is a fight. It was supposed to be in the middleweight, division. Dan Kelly versus Patrick Walsh. Dan Kelly weighed in at 185.5. Patrick Walsh weighed in at 192. So he was
Ooh.
7 pounds overweight.
That's not like I just missed. That's like I had a couple burgers before. I weighed in.
Yeah. He's like, well, I'm not making weight, so I might as well go ahead and go to In-N-Out and grab a couple of double doubles,
Animal style.
Yeah. So that's a big it's a big no. Really. I mean, to come in that heavy. I've never seen a guy be 7 pounds over.
So what are the prelims starting at tonight?
Prelims start at 6 Arizona time. Main card starts at 8.
Okay.
So the first 3 fights on the main card are going to be great. I mean, they got, or the top 3, I should
Yeah.
say. We have Neil Magny versus Kiichi Kunimoto. Magny is the only fighter in the UFC.
Unbelievable. And
You
stop
should
talking to
have let
myself.
yourself an out. Like
Bad things
when
happen when
no
I
one's
talk to
around.
myself. I just agree with whatever I say. It's just weird. All right, let's go ahead and take one of our breaks here, and we'll come back and we'll wrap it up.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey, everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552 or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
Breaker 1-9. How about that bandit? You got some ears on, son?
Have you ever wanted to be a truck driver? If so, pay attention. If not, pay attention anyway. Southwest Truck Driver Training offers everything you need to get started. You can get hired before you begin training. They've got GI Bill approved training facilities, day, night, or weekend programs to fit your busy schedule. If you have any questions, no sweat. They've got veteran supportive campuses with veterans on staff to serve you. And on top of that, they have lifetime job placement assistance. Put the pedal to the metal. Call Southwest Truck Driver Training today.
If you or someone you know is looking for a new job or career, you need to visit the pros. National Career Fairs at ncfairs.com. National Career Fairs hosts over 300 career fairs a year nationwide. The events are free and give you the perfect chance to meet some of the top employers in your area face to face. To find the nearest career fair to you, visit ncfairs.com. Again, that's ncfairs.com. What are you waiting for?
Would you like to own a thriving business and help employ local veterans? The Vetraplex Handyman Construction and Landscape business is the opportunity you've been waiting for. The Vetraplex is your gateway to an affordable startup business with 0% financing for qualifying owners. By owning a Vetraplex franchise, you will be hiring veterans, providing them both income and opportunity, while at the same time providing your customers a way to say, thank you for your service to our nation's veterans. For more information, visit vetraplex.org. Again, that's vetraplex.org or call 928-284-2022.
Close your eyes, make a wish, and go out.
And we are back with our final segment. You are listening to Vets on Sports, and God,
How do you not like Boys to Men, you two?
Oh, you know what? There could be traffic on the way home. I don't care. I'll be fine. I'll deal with it.
Why aren't you following me?
With
Oh,
all
man.
of the money that men have to spend today, just think of the fact that they could actually invest that or start up a business or actually do something that lasts past today.
You could spend 99 cents and buy the Boys to Men song and play it for your old lady and get down.
If that's all it took, yeah, then no.
It does.
No, it's not. Trust me. Guys have to work.
I don't know. I'm all relaxed. I think my pigment looks good. My blood pressure's dropped since we just started listening to these musics. So,
Fuck
Job.
that.
whoops.
I said explicit at the beginning. They got the warning.
I hate
All right.
this freaking day.
Yeah.
I freaking hate these
I can't
days. man.
stand it.
Single Awareness Day.
And,
Well,
and
then
it's not because I was alone. Trust me, I had opportunities and I
Well-
turned them down.
I asked twice, but you said that.
Yeah, you were the first one I turned down.
And the last one, I think.
Yeah.
I'm persistent. But maybe on Tuesday we'll have some grudge music or like some mad music to make up
Yeah,
for it.
I don't see why on one day a year. I mean, you got birthday, you got Christmas, now you got Valentine's Day, you got friggin' Memorial Day, whatever. All these
President's
all these damn
Monday,
reasons
Tuesday, Wednesday,
to have
Thursday,
to
Friday.
go out and spend money. I don't see why people feel that they need to give something in order to show how much they love somebody. I don't get it. I never did. You shouldn't have to give something to somebody in order to show how much you love them.
You
I
have
shouldn't
to,
have to go out and spend $1,000.
Diddy, you have to give
You have to give them their
before you
your-
can receive.
You have to give them your heart.
This coming from the guy that,
they rip your heart out of your ass.
I love I shared that picture that you put on Facebook, Aaron.
Yeah,
I
my
did.
buddy texted that to me.
Says I was beaten. It has a picture of St. Valentine. It says I was beaten with clubs, beheaded, buried under the cover of darkness, disinterred by my followers, and you commemorate my martyrdom by sending each other chocolates. That just shows pure ignorance. It does. Seriously. It does. It really, really does. Now, I'm not saying that's true, but since when does chocolate represent have to say I love you? So if I don't give you chocolates any other day of the year, that means that I don't love you. You know what I'm saying? Get the hell out of here.
Women weaken legs.
Thank you. Yes. That is probably the best audio you have ever played. That one and
The gunshot earlier.
I do give you props on that one.
I'm gonna have to do some research for a good cocking sound.
I mean, to me, I think that it's worthless. It's a friggin' worthless day just to make. I mean, I think that the government actually made it an official holiday because they know they can get people to spend money on that day. This is one of the most this day, Valentine's Day, is almost as profitable as Black Friday. That is sad. It is. That is truly
Why can't it
freaking
just
sad.
why does it have to be a color? Why can't it just be Friday?
What exactly?
Well, why
Thank
can't
you.
then they should make it actually be able to buy like a dozen roses for like $2.
Anywho, can we wrap this show? I got places to be.
Yeah, he has to go spend some money.
No, I
So-
don't actually. I got to go to work.
Oh, that sucks working on Saturdays. How's that feel anyway, since you left a job that didn't make you work on Saturdays?
Time and a half.
In that case, it's pretty good. Thank you. Hey, good job. So, yeah, we'll be at the GCU game, GCU Utah Valley game tonight. GCU's in second place in the WAC. Don't know if they're going to be able to catch New Mexico State though. Don't know. That's going to be tough. They got to make up 2 games. So see how that goes. Joel, you'll be a UFC.
I'll be watching UFC.
And Aaron will be working.
I will be done by then. I'm going to watch the All-Star Skills.
All right.
All of it, sadly. I'll even watch the WNBA thing.
Sounds like a good reason to have an article in.
We'll
for
also
me
be there
by tomorrow.
at the.
I already sent you one earlier.
It doesn't matter. You're supposed to send 2 a week if it's not 600 words.
Bah.
Joel's the only person that actually follows the rules.
Hey, I'm busy over here.
You got 2 articles of mine posted to you.
Yeah, but not twice a week.
They're none. Yeah, actually, they both were in the same week.
Yeah, but before that, did you send me twice last week?
Yes.
No, you didn't. He did. We'll go ahead and we'll work on that afterwards. Let's go ahead and close it up. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
You didn't ask Brent what he's doing.
I'm going to the game with JD and.
Oh, I thought you had a spa date with your old lady.
No.
Are you paying for it?
No, but we should get a couples massage, me and you.
Oh my God.
We can
Wrap
we
it
definitely
up.
have some music we can bring in.
That's sad. Oh my God. Let's get the hell out of here. You're listening to Vets on Sports. We'll be back on Tuesday night, 7:32. Yeah, whenever. Depending on what happens this weekend. We'll check you later, guys.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly